You're watching Chaotic TV.
Hey folks, welcome back to Chaotic TV. We are in Game 7 of MouseSports versus Quantic Gaming, for the TeamStory Acer Cup, Acer TeamStory Cup, that's the way it is. And in the bottom right we have our Protoss player from MouseSports, currently on a 4-game winning streak. It is MaNa.
His opponent, the Red Zerg player, spawning across from him. This is Team Quantic's Hyun.
That's right, guys. We're seeing a rematch on a different map between these two because of the format from Acer's TeamStory Cup. That's going to be a hard one to remember. That allows for a wildcard player, and we're going to see another Forge Fast Expand from MaNa. This is very different from the first 3 games he played against Apocalypse Center and Huang, but it worked well for him in the last game, and if he can do the same kind of damage early that he did against Hyun, then we'll see some very different style play.
I wonder if we'll see some kind of all-in here from Hyun with his back against the wall. This is, of course, match point. Right? Yeah.
Yes, that's very true, actually. And if Hyun is their ace player, then that's a good person they choose for their wild card.
Standard opening, 15 pool. Followed up with the hatch as soon as he can get any pylon or probe out of the way.
Ooh, Forge first coming out of MaNa right now. Just being a little bit protective in case that all-in you mentioned is going to be something like a 7 pool. Although that forward placement of the photon cannon wouldn't actually help him against the 7 pool because he would just run around it.
Although this is also a bit bigger of a ramp to wall off, I think. And it would
Very
probably
true.
take an extra structure. Oh, got the hatch down without a probe or a pylon block, so that'll be good for Hyun.
Yep, him building that spawning pool does actually hurt a little bit economically in the early game, but it is definitely safer to have that down as opposed to the hatch first. Hatch first almost never has a probe there to block it unless the probe is there doing something else besides blocking the hatchery, something like a proxy. And if Hyun had seen a probe there that early, he would know something is up and would just cancel and build a spawning pool.
Yeah, spawning pool first is normal for ZVP right now. It just disallows any kind of cannon type play at the natural.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah, I haven't seen that from anybody as much as I've seen it from MC in recent weeks.
This map, I think, has a spot where you can. Is there a spot where you can wall in a probe with 2 pylons? It doesn't look like it.
I believe directly behind.
There's a gap there.
There is a gap between the minerals. All right. Well, I haven't done it all that much. I don't think I've ever photon cannoned anybody, but I am a magnet for it on the ladder.
Looks like there's a spot in the right side natural, though. That's weird that they're not exactly symmetrical.
Yeah. A little bit difference of map making. Maybe that's changed in the tournament edition, which will be coming into the ladder pool for this next season of StarCraft to Heart of the Swarm on the ladder. And I said ladder twice. But anyway, we have Hyun taking the expected 3 bases and the gateway finally finishing. He's about to drop that cybernetics core not on the line, actually. He's probably going to wall in with another gateway later.
You are a master of repeating words tonight, for sure.
I am very good at this. It's because I'm just spouting nonsense until something happens in the game.
And is something happening? Not quite yet.
We only have 2 gases down for the Protoss. He's not going for a 3rd, which would indicate something early, an early robo, most likely. And we do not have an early 3rd and 4th coming from Hyun, which means he's not going mutas early.
For 2 gases, we can see most openings. If you're up to 3 or 4, that's a double tech tree, which is really greedy. We'll probably see, well, what he wants next, either Twilight, Stargate, or Robo.
We have 2 fully saturated mineral lines of Hyun, and he's going to fill up the 3rd, but he is taking his first 2 gases at the natural, which means that any poking Zealot or Stalker or even Mothership Core moving into the natural will see those 2 gases, but they won't actually see any in the main base. And if a Mothership Core floats into the main base and then goes to the natural, it'll likely be taken out by Queens before it sees the 2nd gas.
Actually not making a Mothership Core yet.
Just theoretically. He's also not chrono boosting that warp gate. It's something I've seen a lot of. It used to be Protosses would always chrono boost that warp gate, But if you're not going to do early pressure with it, it's not exactly necessary.
Counting out probes. He looks like he just wants to play safe here, getting the robotics facility. He'll have his observers to scout for him.
We don't have Zerg speed just yet. We have a Roach Warren coming in, and the layer has been started, so Roach speed is probably going to come out.
There's the mothership core. And actually, if I was paying attention to this +1 timing, I would know what his build is going to be. But I wasn't, of course. There's a couple keys on that.
Oh, he's got a 1 and 1 since he's going for that robo.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a +2 timing attack here. With I don't even know what. Oh, actually, no.
He doesn't have the Twilight Council coming out, and he's
so he's just going to try 1-1 here.
One Zergling splitting off to see a third, and or lack thereof, and we have Macro Hatch coming in for Hyun. So definitely more Zergling Roach pressure, although slightly different because it's not going to be speedlings just yet. It is in the works, but the layer is going to be starting. There it is, the glial reconstitution. It's going to allow for those speed roaches, and MaNa being a little bit more greedy than last game, taking a third relatively early, or actually quite early compared to last game.
He kind of needs to, though, with no harass or anything, to let Hyun hit his target number for workers on minerals, so he's got all his mineral income he's going to have for 2 bases. So it's kind of just letting him have his way with his macro game.
And Hyun is starting to gather his units across the map. There's nothing at the Zanaga Watchtower for MaNa, so MaNa has no idea this is actually coming. His Mothership Core is just kind of has seen a couple of poked and prods that scouting Zergling is going to be an indicator for MaNa to be a little bit paranoid, but he's getting flanked right now on the north side. Now the Mothership Core sees everything.
I think we're going to have Hyun wait for that Nexus to finish before he attacks. Nope, there he goes, a little early.
A little juke towards the main, the natural
round.
base.
He's got Zerglings attacking sentries, so that's good for him.
That is, but those force fields are doing a crazy amount of damage. Or excuse it, doing a very good job at holding off the remainder of his forces, and now Hyun is going to have to pull back since those photon cannons have got 7 kills and 1 kill on them respectively, a third one going down right now.
A lot of cannons.
And even more forces coming in for Hyun, a lot of Zerglings compared to the Roaches, even though they're both speedy. We have Ventral Sacks coming in. That is just awesome. I love drop play from Zerg.
Yeah, you can see the high number of Zerglings is a response to the no zealots in this army.
That's very true, and the Observer is still following that army. The 4th base going down for Hyun, but it looks like we had a zealot run by.
Nope, there's a pylon in his base.
Are you serious? Oh my god, how did I miss that?
I think the probe snuck in during the microing at MaNa's third. I think the probe just snuck on in.
I like these overlords making a creep highway, allowing the queens to put the creep tumors out forward instead of just connecting their own bases.
Oh, Hannah's making. Oh, he's making his 4th base. Or his 4th base is ready. Like, he's making 10 more drones. Weird. Oh, never mind. 4 bases.
We have all of the overlords moving towards the pack of Zerglings and Roaches to start picking them up, but it's going to be seen by this Observer, and there's nothing to shoot or snipe that Observer down.
It's a very awkward Guardian Shield. That's a 3rd for MaNa.
Probably going to see a photon overcharge coming out of this. Mothership Core has actually got enough energy for 2 of them. The Overlords here are going to be able to pick up anything and everything and run them into the base for even a flanking maneuver, or just to soak up some damage from the photon cannons if they're... Oh, there we go. He's going to drop on everything.
Yeah, he's going to try to negate the force fields with drops. And he realized there's a ton of photon cannons there and decided to take a different path. The Mothership Core just getting some pot shots in.
He's going to push towards that 3rd with the remainder of the Roaches outside the base while he drops all over the natural, and the forces of MaNa are moving in to save the natural. He's actually just split it off so that the Roaches at the 3rd base can be Oh wow, he's just continuing to move towards the main. This is awesome. If he's able to snipe tech, shut down all 5 of these gateways by killing off that AcerTS pylon, then the reinforcements of MaNa are going to be so kind of like denied. And great force fields already coming down, denying the forces, but look at that creep highway, just allowing the Zerglings and Roaches to move around MaNa's base quicker and quicker. He did not snipe off that pylon, but he's going to get the Nexus. It's worth it.
He also got the third with the little secondary force attacking from the front.
Oh, did he get all, I guess all of the Immortals went into the main base just by way of the hotkey of MaNa, and the Roaches had free reign at the third base. Now
yeah,
MaNa's on a serious
back
foot.
All.
He did originally, but I guess he regrouped them up, and now the Overlords have gotten out, a lot of them with a little bit of damage, but that's not really going to be very relevant since MaNa's on one base and unable to put down a Nexus because of the creep.
Kind of the exact opposite of what we saw last game, where MaNa brought Hyun down to one base and just kind of choked him off there.
We're seeing 10 more Roaches and +2 missile attacks about to finish for Hyun. Hyun is moving all of his Overlords back towards...
He's going to drop Banelings.
Really? That's kind of awesome. That was something I was going to mention when I said I love drop play. I haven't seen a Baneling drop in a long time.
Yeah, I remember when Baneling drops first started becoming a thing. That was amazingly fun to watch.
I've even seen Baneling drops in the middle of Blink Stalker packs. And then Hero did the best Blink Stalker micro I've ever seen by blinking away in like 1,000 different directions away from the dropped Banelings on Daybreak, I believe that was. But these Banelings are morphing right now, about to be loaded up into those Overlords. The third base is being put back down, but the Changelings have seen that the main base Nexus has not been put back up for MaNa. The third base is going to be very, very crucial to MaNa's economy, and he's clearing out the debris on the fourth just in case he's allowed to put that one down.
Yeah, he's going to just forsake the main now with how many minerals are left there. It's not worth the minerals to put the Nexus back in there.
69 harvesters to 46. We have +1 melee and carapace coming in for Hyun, but it doesn't look like he's going to need it. He did lose an Overlord, so he's a little bit supply capped, but he's already maxed with a bank of 4,500 minerals. If he gets all of the larvae saturated on his 5 hatcheries, that's 17 per. That's 34, 68, and 85, I think, total. Packs of Zerglings, that's... wow, that's 85 supply worth of Zerglings he can just reinforce with and just run over whatever is left of MaNa's.
Here we see MaNa made some Colossus, but didn't get range for them because he didn't have the resources to. And we're at a decent supply deficit here for the Protest player, so we'll see how he can defend.
One Overlord gets taken out, but it doesn't look like Hyun is going to take out that pylon, although he could have sniped it. Another Overlord full of Banelings is going to be sniped before anything can happen, and it looks like, look at the drop on all of those.
Killed the Colossus with just Baneling drops. That's pretty good.
Baneling's still hitting all those Immortals, and it looks like Hyun's about to take this game. Although it doesn't look like MaNa's going to tap out just yet. The Immortal's still doing what it can, killing a whole lot of Roaches, and it looks like he's going to be able to clean this up. But the bank of Hyun's going to remax in about 3 seconds and come back in for the killing blow.
Yeah, currently supply is sitting at 133 to 73. That's a bit of a deficit.
Ooh, this is so much fun to watch. I got low on the shot for the Banelings to kill that last Colossus and a couple of Immortals. It was really funny to watch. A couple of Changelings moving in just to keep continuing the scout.
It's interesting how changing angles on your camera just makes the game look so much different.
As I said, 1,000 Zerglings moving across the map right now just to wreak havoc amongst the remnants of MaNa's army.
It's only 95.
Only 95. Never have I heard that before.
Now it's 94 even.
We have a Dimaga-like amount of Zerglings here. Oh my god, look at all those Banelings. We have a Nesty amount of Banelings here.
I think that is officially so many Banelings.
Look at that, he's got them Q-loaded up, and oh, that's tremendous. The Observer's seeing all of this, and
I think he failed at that Q-loading
crapping
because
its phantom pants. Yeah.
There he goes. He realized that he was trying to load him into full overlords.
The stalkers are moving up here to try to snipe out the overlords before they get there, but the roaches are on the ground and he only hasn't even gotten one overlord yet. And we have the big push coming in. These banelings are going to drop on that Colossus.
She's probably just gonna.
Wow, look at all of them roll in. There goes the Immortal. The banelings continue to drop out of those Colossi, and the remnants of Maga. I was going to say Demaga. MaNa's. It is still match point for MouseSports, but Quantic Gaming is coming back with Hyun at the wheel, and he's going to be up against Hero Marine in the very next match, a German player. So we'll see you guys in Game 8 coming up on Belshir Vestige in just a second on Chaotic TV. I am KO.
This is Eclipse.
And we'll see you soon. Army
Banelings
is completely
also
gone.
don't drop out of Colossi.
Whatever.
Good game.
It was a lot of
Hyun
fun to
takes
watch.
the match. Naturally, almost died in the middle of that.